Welcome back to the Pirate Republic. This is an audiobook presentation of Pirates of the Wild West, the first novel in the Storm of Time series, released one chapter at a time. The next two chapters in Pirates of the Wild West are a little short, so I'm going to release two of them on the same day. This next one, Pirate Booty, we find Mary Read and Charles Vane after the train robbery. Hope you enjoy. Chapter 18, Pirate Booty. Mary Read rubbed her aching back from the saddle of her brown and white speckled horse. They had ridden hard and fast through the night to arrive with the sun on the outskirts of town, thankfully unpursued after their train robbery. She was now casually riding alongside the wagon driven by Black Caesar and young Tom. Charlotte and Charles Vane, whose head was on a swivel, rode in front while watching for danger on the lightly crowded streets of San Francisco as they made their way to the stable acting as their base of operations. The James brothers had paid off the stable owner along with the purchase of the horses and wagon they were riding. She had a bad feeling about the outcome of the chase their brethren had embarked upon that had allowed her and the wagon to escape. She was worried about her dear friend Anne, that she may be captured or killed by the 20 horsemen that pursued them. Mary glanced back into the wagon at the tarp-covered booty, and a smile slid across her face. During her time pirating with Calico Jack and Anne Bonny, she had helped capture many ships, but few could rival the haul of precious silver and loot that they had just seized. Unless you had the luck, ships, and manpower to overtake a Spanish galleon, you would need to be content with a booty of commodities and maybe a small bit of jewelry and other spoils. Once you added in the 70 or more fellow pirates that would be splitting the haul with you, you then realized your share would support you on land for mere months at a time. Even less if you engaged in the partying and gambling that most pirates succumbed to upon reaching the shores of Port Royal, Nassau, and other such havens. The amount of silver in the wagons split between just the few members of their land crew would be a fortune. Then, if they were successful in raising the Queen Anne's revenge and splitting Blackbeard's treasure, Mary would be able to retire from this life, or buy her own ship. She could even move back to London and buy a ladyship if she wished. They had not seen any signs of Anne, Blackbeard, Hornigold, or the James brothers since they parted ways. She had worried all night about Anne's welfare, knowing that the posse chasing them was too big to fight. Her only hope was that they could outrun them and lose them under cover of darkness. She vowed to free her friend if she was captured, either by force or by using a portion of their booty to buy her freedom. She looked over at Charlotte and Vane and was convinced that those two would be no help in the matter. Charlotte's face was unreadable. The woman was slowly becoming a trusted partner as they navigated this strange world, but still the bond was nowhere as solid as the one she shared with Anne. Black Caesar, on the other hand, was completely loyal to Blackbeard. The story about their relationship was that when Blackbeard seized the Queen Anne's Revenge, it had been a French slave ship called La Concorde, and Black Caesar had been one of the captured slaves on board. It was a pirate custom to offer all on board a captured ship the opportunity to join the Society of Pirates, and Black Caesar jumped at the chance to change his fortunes, quickly rising to the role of first mate on the newly renamed Queen Anne's Revenge. Black Caesar was rumored to be a tribal chieftain from West Africa, known for his immense strength and height, but also as a man of keen intelligence, which is why he became Blackbeard's second in command. Anne knew that Black Caesar would stop at nothing to free his captain should he be caught and jailed. Maybe they have already arrived at the stables. Their horses would be much faster than the wagon I'm accompanying. Mary was hopeful that this train of thought would come to pass, and when they arrived, it would be to a celebratory reunion for all. But alas, the stable was empty, and after waiting for a few moments in silence, they began hiding a portion of their booty underneath a large stack of hay. Black Caesar, Tom, and Charlotte would take enough silver to pay the scientist and his team to raise the Queen Anne. She and Charles Vane would guard the remaining treasure and wait for the others to return. Once Charlotte, Black Caesar, and Tom were on their way, Mary found one of the bottles of whiskey Anne and the James brothers had acquired and used her teeth to uncork it. She sat heavily on a stool and passed the bottle to Vane. "If no one returns tonight, we would be smart to take the treasure and find us a ship. Sail away from this cold, dreadful place," Vane said after taking a long pull of whiskey. "No honor among thieves, Charles? They've been gone only moments, and you're planning to make off with their shares. Oh, come now, dear Mary. Those half-wits are never going to raise Blackbeard's ship, and Blackbeard himself is either dead or headed to the gallows along with Hornigold, Bonnie, and those cowboys. Are we to wait here to fall to the same fate?" Mary sat silently, then stretched out her hand for the bottle, which Vane handed over. "You know this is all a fool's errand," he went on. "We have been dragged into their schemes time and time again. Now, when we've finally tasted some success, we have to part with a fortune in treasure for the impossible task of raising a 200-ton vessel from the ocean floor. Mary, this strange place will eat us alive if we stay, just like Black Sam and Bart." Vane feigned a sad look. "And poor Calico. Do you want to end up like him? We need to take this booty, even if it's just our share, and sail home." Mary stared at Vane for a moment, then took a drink and wiped her mouth on her sleeve. "We have no home, Charles. Take your share if you like, but none more. Together we are strong. Together we can survive. Divided we surely will end up like poor Jack. I'm staying. Maybe the Queen Anne's revenge can be raised. Consider the wonders we've seen in the past days. If these people can make a carriage like that train we went and robbed, then I believe they have a way to raise up a ship. Even a ship like Blackbeard's. We've both seen with our eyes the immense ships they can make, ships powered not by sail, but by engines of steam. You go on and leave, Charles. Me, I'm staying. I pledged my loyalty to my pirate brethren and to the pirate republic. My oath stands whether it's 1718 or 1873, Vane finished her sentence. Mary took another swallow of the whiskey and set the bottle down. She pulled her revolving pistol and opened the cylinder. Seeing that 2 rounds were empty, she pulled 2 more from a pouch on her belt and began reloading the gun. "Besides, I have a fondness for this Kentucky whiskey, and little desire to go back to drinking the wretched grog in Nassau." Vane harumphed at her comment, but picked up the whiskey and sat himself on a hay bale. Mary used a rag to clean up her pistol the best she could. Vane watched for a moment before pulling out his handgun and doing the same. Mary hummed a song while she worked. "It would be quite grand to see the Queen Anne sail once more," Vane said. Mary continued to hum her tune, and soon Vane picked up the vocals mid-song. 4 shivelages of gold in a bloody field, environed with green. Now this is my shield. Yet call out for quarter before you do see a bloody flag out, which our decree, no quarters to give, no quarters to take, we save nothing living. Alas, 'tis too late, for we are now sworn by the bread and the wine, more serious we are than any divine. Now this is the course I intend for to steer. My false-hearted nation, to you I declare, I have done thee no wrong, thou must me forgive. The sword shall maintain me as long as I live." Mary smiled to herself as she knew Vane would stay, at least for the moment. Men are fickle beasts, and this one can switch directions as fast as a school of fish. I hope you're enjoying this historical fiction book with pirates and time travel all wound together in it. You can find the ebook and physical books at my website, briancantrell.com. You can also find the second book in this series, Pirates of World War II. And if you're a fan of pirates, you can check out thepiraterepublic.com. It's a weekly newsletter that I put out every Friday. All sorts of great pirate history, events, news, and happenings. You can also toss a few doubloons our way by joining our Patreon at Patreon, The Pirate Republic. We'll see you next week. Till then, fair winds and keep a weathered eye.